December 17, 1944, Ardennes Forest, Belgium. The snow fell in thick, wet sheets, smothering sound and swallowing color. What had been a quiet front only days earlier was now the heart of chaos, the Battle of the Bulge. In a clearing surrounded by blackened trees, a German Tiger I tank rumbled through the snow, its massive 88mm gun scanning the white horizon. Inside, the air was heavy with diesel fumes and sweat. Oberleutnant Heinrich Adler, commander of the 501st Heavy Panzer Battalion, smirked as his driver maneuvered the 54-ton behemoth down the narrow road. Through the slit of his periscope, he saw a burning Sherman tank, its turret peeled open like a tin can, flames licking through the snow. Adler chuckled. "The Americans build tractors," he said in German, "and call them tanks." His gunner laughed, checking the elevation of the cannon. "They die fast, though. Easy to hit, easy to burn." The Tiger's engine roared, echoing between the frost-bitten pines. Every German crewman in the Ardennes believed the same thing. No American tank could match the Tigers or Panthers in armor, firepower, or precision. And for a time, they were right. The Sherman, though fast and numerous, was outgunned, out-armored, and doomed in a head-on fight. German officers mocked it openly, calling it Tommy Cocker, Tommy Cooker, for how easily it burned. But on this frozen battlefield, something was changing. Adler's Tiger crested a hill overlooking a Belgian crossroads. Through the snowstorm, he saw shapes moving, tank silhouettes, dark against the white fog. He adjusted his binoculars. "More Shermans," he muttered with disdain. He ordered his gunner to fire. The first shot screamed across the valley, tearing through one American tank in a flash of flame. The crew cheered. Treffer! Hit! But before they could reload, the ground thundered. From behind the smoke, a Sherman emerged, faster, sleeker, its turret rotating smoothly. It wasn't retreating. It was charging. Adler frowned. "Was this Das?" he said, narrowing his eyes. The tank's gun flared, a brilliant orange flash in the white gloom. The round slammed into the Tiger's frontal armor. The tank lurched violently. The commander froze. "That's impossible," he whispered. "A Sherman can't do that." But this wasn't the same old Sherman. This was something new. This was the M4A3 E8, the Easy 8. December 19, 1944, near Bastogne, Belgium. The forest was a graveyard. Twisted trees lay shattered by artillery, their trunks split like matchsticks. Smoke rolled low across the snow, and somewhere in the distance, the moan of tank engines echoed through the fog, deep, mechanical, predatory. Inside one of those tanks, Staff Sergeant William Bill Carter, commander of an M4A3 E8 Sherman, leaned against his periscope, squinting into the haze. His tank, Hellfire II, sat camouflaged under a ridge of pine needles and frozen mud. The Easy 8 vibrated gently, its new HVSS suspension smoothing every movement. Beneath Carter's boots, the 76mm gun hummed as the loader adjusted its elevation. "Range, 800 yards, the gunner murmured. "Tiger's moving east." Carter nodded. "Hold steady. Let him come." Outside, a German Tiger I crept forward through the snow, its commander, Oberleutnant Adler, standing in the open hatch, scanning through field glasses. From this distance, the American tanks looked small, harmless, like insects crawling on the snow. "Take aim at the lead one," Adler said calmly. "One shot." His gunner aligned the crosshairs. "On target." The Tiger fired. The shell roared through the trees, striking a Sherman square in the hull. A direct hit. Flames burst skyward as the crew scrambled out. Adler smirked. "See? Still the same toy." But then, from his periscope, Carter saw it, the Tiger's muzzle flash, the exact moment of arrogance. He exhaled slowly. "Target the Tiger," he said. "A P round loaded?" "Loaded and ready." "Send it." The 76mm gun cracked like thunder. The recoil slammed through the Easy 8, echoing through the hull. The round streaked across the field, slicing through fog and snow, and punched clean into the Tiger's turret ring. The German crew was thrown forward. "Verdammt!" Adler shouted. "Hit on the left side, traverse the gun." But before they could return fire, the EZ-8 fired again, faster this time, smoother, deadlier. The upgraded recoil system recentered instantly. Another round screamed across the clearing, this time hitting the Tiger's lower glacis. Sparks exploded under its hull. "Gunner, fire again!" Carter barked. "Keep hitting him, don't let up." The loader rammed another shell into the breach. Boom! The Tiger's side erupted in flame. The beast that once ruled the battlefield now burned like a furnace. Inside, Adler's crew panicked. Smoke filled the cabin. One man reached for the hatch, but the handle was molten hot. Adler coughed, pulling his cap down over his eyes. "Get out." "Abandon." The explosion cut him off. The Tiger's ammunition ignited, bursting from the turret in a column of black smoke. The EZ-8 sat still, barrel steaming in the snow. Through his periscope, Carter watched the burning wreck. His face was calm, expressionless. He'd seen too much to celebrate. "Did we get him?" the loader asked, voice trembling. Carter nodded slowly. "Yeah, we got him." Hours later, the snow fell again, covering the wrecks of both German and American machines alike. An allied mechanic walked past the burning Tiger, kicking at its treads. He whistled softly. "Never thought I'd see one of those knocked out by a Sherman." Beside him, Carter wiped soot from his helmet. "Wasn't a Sherman," he said quietly. "Not anymore." He looked at his tank, the new armor plates welded clean, the longer barrel glinting in the dawn light. "This one's different," he muttered. "She fights back." By the end of the day, word spread through the German lines of a faster, deadlier Sherman that didn't die easy. They called it Der Schnelltod, the fast death, and for the first time in years, Tiger crews began to feel fear. January 1945, outside Cologne, Germany. The city was dying. Smoke curled from shattered cathedrals, and the air stank of oil, cordite, and snow melting on burning rubble. The Allies had broken through the Siegfried Line, and American armor rolled relentlessly toward the Rhine. In the distance, a formation of tanks moved across the ruins, columns of EZ-8s, their white stars scarred by battle, engines roaring in perfect rhythm. Inside one of them, Staff Sergeant Carter stared through his periscope at the jagged skyline of Cologne. "City's crawling with them," he said, his voice calm but tired. "Panthers, dug-in infantry, everything they've got left." His gunner, Corporal Davis, adjusted the sight. "Orders, Sarge?" Carter lit a cigarette, the flame flickering in the gloom. "Orders are the same. We move, we shoot, we live." The radio crackled. "All units, enemy armor spotted near the cathedral square." "Panther tanks confirmed." Carter exhaled smoke through his teeth. "Let's go meet him." A few blocks away, inside a Panther tank crouched beneath a collapsed tram line, Lieutenant Karl Weiss peered through his gun sight. He had fought since Kursk. He'd seen the Eastern Front, the desert, the retreat across Europe. He knew American Shermans. Clumsy, undergunned, child's toys compared to the big cats of Germany. He whispered to his crew, "Let them come. We'll burn them like all the others." His loader grinned grimly. "For the fatherland." But when the first EZ-8 rounded the corner, Weiss frowned. The tank moved differently, low, smooth, confident. Its turrets snapped toward them with mechanical precision. What is that model?" the loader stammered. Weiss blinked. "It's still a Sherman." "It must be." Before they could fire, the EZ-8's 76mm cannon spat flame. The round struck the Panther's turret front and ricocheted. But before Weiss could exhale in relief, another shell followed almost instantly, slamming into the thinner armor by the mantlet. The impact shook the tank like an earthquake. "Reload!" Weiss shouted. But the American was faster. The EZ-8's gun fired again, smooth, mechanical, relentless. The shell tore through the Panther's side armor, igniting fuel. The German crew scrambled for the hatch. Flames surged up from the floor. Weiss clawed his way out, falling onto the frozen cobblestones. He rolled, coughing, the taste of iron in his mouth. Through the smoke, he saw the Easy-8 advancing, its hull blackened, its tracks coated in ash. It didn't stop. It didn't even slow down. A symbol painted on its side, Easy does I, T. Weiss stared, helpless, as the American tank passed the wreckage of his Panther. So this was it, the machine they'd heard rumors of. The one that was faster, steadier, deadlier. A Sherman that could dance. Carter's voice echoed through the intercom. Target destroyed. Keep moving. Don't give them time to breathe. The Easy-8 rolled forward, past burning buildings and shattered tanks. Every street was a new battlefield, every corner a test of reflexes and instinct. From above, Allied fighter bombers screamed across the sky, strafing German convoys as the armored columns pressed on. The German army, once masters of blitzkrieg, now found themselves on the other side of their own invention. For every Tiger and Panther they fielded, the Americans sent 5 Easy-8s, lighter, faster, easier to repair, built by factories that never slept. That night, in a farmhouse north of Cologne, captured officers huddled around a small lantern. Weiss sat among them, his face gray with exhaustion. They said it was still a Sherman, one man muttered. But it's not. It's something else. Weiss nodded slowly. It's evolution, he said. They've made war a machine. We can't stop it anymore. He looked out the window, where American tanks rumbled past in endless lines, their silhouettes lit by the fires of the collapsing Reich. For years, we mocked them, he whispered. Now their machines mock us. At dawn, as the Easy-8 columns crossed the Rhine, Sergeant Carter stood in his open hatch, wind howling past. He looked east, toward Germany's heartland, and murmured, "They wanted to see what America could build." He smiled faintly. "Now they'll see."